Hello, in this video I demonstrate assemblies in Creo. It's fairly similar to the Pro ebook, the main difference being that some of the names of the constraints have changed. So I'm going to demonstrate just a couple things here for you. Hopefully that'll get you through the gist of it. The first thing we're going to do is click on the Assemble button. I've already opened an assembly. It's under the Model tab. And I'll just drop in part 1, hit open. Now this is pretty much what they describe in the book. Go to default, under user defined, click the green check mark. We'll do that again to put in part 5. This time we want it on automatic, and you just kind of click the two faces here and then change our coincident to the opposite orientation. And now what we normally do in SOLIDWORKS here is click this green check mark, and I'll do this just to demonstrate. You don't want to, but you click that green check mark and now you've left the mates or constraints mode. We can get back into that by right clicking on part 5. You see this little box at the beginning of part 5. That's to tell us it's not fully constrained. But go to edit definition, and now it brings us back into our constraint mode, so we can select this face and that face. Again, we need to flip the orientation. I'm using coincident as default. Now what I didn't see, oh, I did it again, sorry. I'll go back to edit definition, old SOLIDWORKS habit. I believe the book uses something called align for these two, and I did not see that in here. I'm just using coincident because it's the only thing I can find, and it seems to do the job just as well. So that brings together the two blocks. I'll put one of the pins in for you. Don't remember that part number right offhand. Might be 3. I think it's 4 actually. 4 is the wrong one. This one, I suppose we can just drop it in quickly. Same kind of idea. Change it from normal now to, I think the book says to use align. I just use parallel if I need it aligned. Coincident works if you want it parallel and touching. And then you can use these triads to kind of reposition it so it's a little easier to work with. And I have that bad habit of okaying everything before it's really okay. And final, I think we need to be, this needs to be coincident again. And finally we need to be 1/8 of an inch off the edge here. That's distance 0.125. Now let's see if I can remember which one that pin was. Looks like I may end up demonstrating this whole thing for you. Part 2. Correct, there we go. So the book says to pull it out of the way. You can do that a number of ways. The one that in particular came to trouble me was the align. So it's still on automatic, and I select the bottom of this keyway and the bottom of that keyway. It defaults to normal, and we don't see align anywhere here. Use parallel instead of align. It looks like it's basically the same icon, so I'm assuming the name just changed. And then for me, I need to flip it over, and now it's backwards, but we're not going to worry about that because when we place it in here, we can flip this direction around, and we have one last stop. And that should be coincident. And the way I made my block was to draw these holes in a sketch. I did not use the pattern. So the pattern that the book describes won't work for me, but I can also use a different pattern. What part number are we looking for now? 3, I guess. So when I place this, flip the direction around, pull it up so it's where I want it, and then this top face and the bottom of that pin need to be cool. What happened there? Need to be coincident. And now when I go to pattern, I just pre-select what I want to pattern, which is number 3. Hit the pattern button. Now the book wants you to use fill if you did it with a pattern, but I didn't. So I'm going to change mine to direction. And I pick this axis. And if you remember, the spacing between them was 2 inches. And we need 3 of them. And the second direction is the long angle here. There are 3, oh sorry, there are only 2. If you do the math, there's 9 between the holes. And flip the direction around. And ta-da, there you have your finished assembly, minus the one pin that is just redundant. Thank you.